Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I'm your host. I'm so happy to be here. If you are listening live, it is the 26th of July at about 11 a.m. Pacific time. If you're listening to an archive or a replay, I also want to welcome you to the show. So happy to have you guys here. I hope you're having a great start to your week. I think we're in some pretty interesting energy, at least according to me. uh, This is just not a week to push yourself too hard or your relationship, significant others. If there was a week to just kind of lay on the couch and lay low, this would be it. So I hope everybody has an opportunity to do that. I don't know how hot it is where you are, but it has been hotter than hell here. It's actually been a little bit cooler. It was a little cooler last night, which was really nice. I mean, I don't have a lot to complain about. We do cool down at night here in ways that I know it doesn't, where a lot of you guys live. So, what can I really say except for that I'm ready for fall? I know I'm a wuss. I'm ready right now. At any rate, I hope that you guys are good. I want to let you know that we are over in the chat room, and you can find that by heading over to 12radio.com, click on the chat button, and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. And you'll see my banner at the top of the page. It is posting right now. And I have a brand new banner. So if you're looking for the old one, you won't see it. This is brand spanking new. So I did post it just now, so you guys can find it there if that's where you are chatting. However, I'm also live streaming this event, and you can find that by heading over to Katie Weaver Domestic Mystic on Facebook or YouTube, and you'll find it there. So, what can I say? Lots and lots of ways to connect. So, here in the live stream, I'm going to show you my new banner. Everything's moving kind of slow, but they're installing fiber optic internet, I guess, on my street right now. And it's creating so much chaos outside. My dogs hate it. They're freaking out constantly by all the banging and the big equipment and stuff. And, it's whatever. Here's my new banner. But at any rate, yesterday, two times, very timid, sheepish men knocked on our door to say, uh, just checking to see if this house still has power. um, yeah, we do. Uh, Good thing. So I'm not sure what was going on. Obviously, they knocked the power out to some people, and I'm guessing they'd already had their asses handed to them by somebody because every time they knocked on our door, they were super timid. And, you know, to be fair, we would have been nothing but nice to them. But anyway, it really cracks me up. Thank you. I love it too. Yeah, it's time. You when you do radio and stuff around here, as long as I have, it's easy sometimes to get a little bit stagnant, I think, and kind of get lost in the sauce. And I realized it's been a long time since I had a new banner. So I went ahead and created this one, and I'm absolutely thrilled with it. So I'm glad that you guys love it. But anyway, so I hope that, I keep internet and power all the way through this show. I mean, so far, so good. It's just that this would be the time. You're right. Anyway, I have to tell you guys about what happened at my house last week. Last Friday, I was laying on the couch talking to my sister on the phone. And in that room, when it's hot, we keep the blinds pulled and the fans in the windows and stuff. And so you don't really see out the front windows so much. There was just like a slit in the window where you could actually see out. And I just happened to glance out the window and saw a big body and long legs. And it just shocked the hell out of me. I literally yelled at my sister, "There's a moose in my yard. I have to go." And I just hung up. There was a moose in my front yard just hanging out. He was kind of Not yeah, he was nibbling on my trees a little bit, mostly, just kinda checking things out. He's maybe a yearling, he's not a huge guy. I mean, he was a huge guy, but in comparison to, a full-grown bull, not quite. But I took a little bit of video and pictures I'm sharing. I'm gonna share them in both chats so that you guys can see them. He hung out for a while, then he went around the side yard of my house and hung out over there in the lilac trees for a few minutes, and then came back to the front yard, and then he did finally leave, but, it was amazing. Amazing because from in the house, I wasn't very far from him, and with the little zoom on my camera, like, I got really close up pictures. So wild. So, I'm gonna share some of them with you. Yeah. So you can see from his antlers, like, he's not enormous, but still, shockingly big in the front yard. Anyway, that's a little more close up. Look at his cute little face. Oh my god. So special. And then here is a video. Sorry, I should probably silence that. That's kind of an awful noise. But that's him just chilling in the front yard. You can see to the right of him, that's my little crow feeder. It's not little, it's a giant old bird bath. It looks little next to him, but he scoped that out for quite a while. And I thought he was going to tip it over. I was hoping he didn't. Oh, and look, that's our motorhome. Remember the motorhome adventures of, buying this motorhome and getting it home? Well, anyway, that's it. He took a peek in the window. And here he goes, headed up the side of the yard. Anyway, pretty amazing stuff. I was so honored and excited to have a moose in the yard. Somebody messaged me and asked me if I did animal communication with the moose. I did not. It didn't even occur to me, to be honest. I was so in awe by him and trying to get some pictures and video because, Scott and Mars weren't home. They were out of town. I was the only person home. And I was somewhat worried about having issues with the dogs. Nobody was out front, and they really can't get out front, but it still kind of scared the crap out of me. But anyway, this is this was just kind of a cool experience, actually a super cool experience. So the coolest thing is that I have a cousin that lives a few miles from me that lives a little deeper into the country. We live well when we bought this house, it was in the country, not so much anymore, but she lives deeper into the country and closer to the river. And she texted me the next day and said, "Hey, your moose just came through my yard, hung out for a few minutes, and took off." She said he's headed to the river now. Thank God. That's where he needed to be. Uh, and it did worry me a lot because, sometimes big animals like this do get hit on our roads. So I was really, really grateful that he made it to her house and she watched him run down to the slough, which means he made it down to the river, which is where he belongs. So that's a relief. Very, very glad to hear that. But anyway, that was my big excitement. Isn't that something? Oh gosh. Years and years ago, I had a little tiny black and white chihuahua named Littles. I had her before I had my Skippy. You guys all probably remember Skippy. Well, my parents at the time, when my parents were still living and they lived across the street. And in the mornings, when I'd put my dogs out to potty, a lot of times they'd go over to my parents' house to say hello. We live at the end of a dead end. So not too dangerous for them on the road. And anyway, one morning I put the dogs out to potty, and just a couple of minutes later, I heard them barking like something serious was going on. I opened the door to see them across the street at my parents' house. We had a little Chiweenie and our little Chihuahua, and our Chihuahua was chasing a moose. There was a little moose about this guy's size, probably, in my parents' yard, and she was chasing him to beat hell and barking her brains out. And He was running like a demon had a hold of him. I don't think he knew what had a hold of him. Surely not a 4-pound chihuahua that was running him down the road. And it scared the hell out of me. I ran into our bedroom and woke up Scott. Littles is chasing a moose and she's going to get killed. And he threw on clothes and ran down the street, and she was just walking back with the biggest smile on her face. She just ran that sucker right out of the neighborhood. But oh god, that scared the crap out of me, though. I just thought for sure she was gonna get hurt. This crazy thing. Anyway, so none of that this time. I kept my dogs under lock and key. I was more worried about him getting into my backyard. Not really sure why, but I thought they could because I have really good fences, but gosh, you just don't know. You don't know. Anyway, I like to worry. I like to think of things to worry about, apparently, but anyhow. So that was my excitement. But I also wanted to share with you guys. I have some, believe it or not, I have finally, crafted something that I actually got posted on Etsy. Can you believe it? I can't, to be fair. I'm going to put some pictures in the chat room for you guys and then I'll show you guys what I have. I have to admit that this morning I'm like, man, I am way ahead of schedule. I've got everything done. And I'm realizing now I could have done a lot of this beforehand and not had to do it during the show. But did I do that? No, I did not do that. So it's probably fine, right? I mean, I also needed cuddle time with the chihuahuas. So I was actually going to do a show and tell with the boys today, and I thought against it. I'm going to do it next week and show you guys how much bigger they've gotten. These little boys are 5.5 months now. I think that we're seeing close to full grown. They'll still fill in and grow a little bit, but with little teeny dogs, 5, 6 months ish, you're having a really good idea of how big they're going to be. So I think we are just about there. Okay. I really wish that Facebook would make it easier to add pictures to chat, that you didn't have to do them individually. Facebook, I know you're not listening and you do not care what I think. However, if you could get on that, that would be great. They probably won't. All right, I'm putting in an Etsy link to the chat so you guys can see it if you're interested. But I made magnets and I'm so excited about them. They're kind of random. I'll give you that. I just put together designs that I loved. There's no rhyme or reason to them, but I really love them. So I have these adorable mushrooms. I love mushrooms, all mushroom things. And the moths. I also love moths. I know some people are like deathly afraid of moths. I don't get it. I think moths are gorgeous. And a little fairy. This one's actually not posted on Etsy yet because she's so shiny, which is gorgeous, but I've had a hell of a time taking a good picture of her so that I could really do her justice. And this little fairy hobbit house. Isn't that cute? I would really kind of like to live there. I think I would fit in just fine. And then this uterus flipping the bird. Yeah, seems fitting for now, doesn't it? This is my favorite. I really want to put this on a t-shirt. I just don't know if I dare wear it in my town. I mean, I usually don't give a shit what people think of me, but I don't really need a confrontation in Walmart? I know. This one too, but we'll see. Maybe I'll get that brave. Who cares? Who cares what other people think, right? This mushroom is my favorite. Isn't that cute? Psychedelic. All right. This says, it's a little hard to see from the pictures, I think. It says, never let anyone knock you off your unicorn. That's kind of been an ongoing joke for a long time, right? When people tell you that you need to grow up or you need to quit believing in angels or fairies, don't ever let anyone knock you off of your unicorn. And then one more moth for good measure. Anyway, so there you go. So if you're interested, there's an Etsy link. I would love to make you one or two or some or all. I'm going to keep working towards having more like organized collections that make sense. But I am determined from now on, if I make something, it has to go directly on Etsy. No more of letting it sit on the shelf forever and promising myself I'll get it posted someday. I have to do better. Partly because I discovered somebody in a town north of me that's selling their whole sublimation system. And they have the printer that I want. And it's going to cost it like, well, I don't know, about $1,000. Uh, and well worth it. But I can't keep doing all this crafting and not make a little money out of it because that's insane. Maybe it's not. I'm enjoying every second of it. But anyway, so I'm trying to do better. So there you go. So there's the random magnets. Pamela said, I've always wanted to see real live Luna moths. Me too. Me too. So the other thing I made isn't on Etsy. It won't be because it's a gift. But my cousin is having a baby girl. And so I made her two baby blankies. I will show you. They are naming her Adeline Jade. So that's on the blanket. Don't know how well I can show you these, but anyway, I think they turned out pretty good. I've never done blankets before. It took a lot of work on my part and Mars partnering with me to help me get it done, but I think that they turned out pretty cute. So you see that. Yeah. Anyway, kind of fun. So that's what I've been working on. See, this is why I want the bigger printer because to make blankets that are a lot easier than this. And lots of things actually, to be fair, but anyway, that's what I've been working on mostly. Let's see. I should have some time for readings today too if you guys are interested in or need anything from me and need any help or anything. You're welcome to put that up in the chat room. Okay. Well, let's take a look at Luminous. I'm going to put a link in the chat rooms, but if you subscribe, you probably already received it this morning, and it went out on all of my socials this morning as well. So you may have already seen it, but that's okay. Okay. I'm going to just share my screen here. There we go. Okay, I did do a moth on this cover too. I'm all about it. I'm all about it. I must be the moth whisperer, along with the crows, of course, but I've got so many crows coming in to eat and magpies too. Tons of them. We're BFFs, what can I say? Okay, you guys. If you have not been to where the crawdads sing, you should just drop everything and go right now. Oh my God. I haven't been to a movie in I don't know how long. I think this might be the first or maybe the second movie I've been to since COVID. Oh my God, it was so good, you guys. It's a book as well. I haven't read the book, but my sister has. Kara has read it twice, and she said that the movie sticks to the book really remarkably well. So, if you would rather read it than watch it, but Where the Crawdads Sing, it's a must. It's an absolute must. Okay. All right. I want to tell you about our shattering ceremony. So, if you guys are friends with Christy on Facebook, you already know. And if you're not, I'll tell you now that she has been diagnosed with uterine cancer. It's very early. They believe that hysterectomy will take care of it. So, she's going to have a hysterectomy in 4 weeks. And we're holding space that that will be all it takes. That's what the doctor believes to be true. but it sucks and it's not news that anybody wants to get. And especially as you guys know, with the history of cancer in our family, it's been a very upsetting diagnosis for her and for all of us. So earlier this week, she said, I'm just pissed. I'm just pissed. And what I really want to do is just break something. I just want to break something. And I went, yeah, I think I can arrange that. So on Saturday, we went to a secondhand store and we filled a shopping cart with glasses and plates and stuff. And if this sounds wasteful, it is. I know. There's no way around it. But well, I didn't want to break my stuff. Anyway, this was the best $23 ever spent. So we bought all this stuff. We came back to my house. Well, we went to dinner and a movie first. Then we came back to my house. We lit a fire in the fire pit and we set up a breaking station. So we took a big barrel and because I wanted to be able to clean up after it easily and make sure that none of my animals would be injured or anything, we had to do this right. So we put it in a barrel and put a cinder block in the bottom of the barrel so that when you dropped the glass in, it would be sure to, hit that and break. So that's what we did. And we had safety glasses. So safety first, right? And so we sat around the fire and we took turns taking a dish, announcing something that's you're furious about, and throwing it in and letting it shatter. Holy shit, how cathartic. You guys, I can't even tell you how good that felt. Honestly, it was amazing. We agreed that this has to happen again and maybe periodically, but we broke glasses for all kinds of things and plates and things as well. And the system worked really well. When we were done, we just poured the barrel into a box, all the broken stuff, and I put it in the trash can and we were done with it. That worked well. We don't have glass recycling around here, in case you're wondering. I would have done that, but we don't have glass recycling. So, anyway, and then we put it all away, and next time we're all set to do it again. But highly recommended if you feel like you need to have some kind of break therapy. That was amazing. Seriously. You've seen it in movies when somebody is, so proclimped that they like shatter every dish in the house into the sink or something. I get it now. I do. I don't want to do that to my house or my dishes, but I want to do that. Oh, Pamela said there's a place near me that you can actually go and destroy things. We're planning to go as a family. We've been through stuff and thought this would be fun and therapeutic. We'll let you know. Well, I'm telling you right now, Pamela, it will be great. Our initial thought was that we wanted to hit stuff with a baseball bat, but we weren't sure. Yeah, we didn't have a good way to do that and not make a big glass mess that we wouldn't be able to clean up like out in the pasture. So we decided that for us to be safe with the animals and everything, this would be a better option. But that sounds amazing. Yes, Ellie, I thought I'd heard of that before, that Idaho Falls has a place like that too by the river. Yeah, maybe we'll have to try that next time. But however, sitting around the fire, we kind of saw it like as a sacred fire and a sacred shattering ceremony and treated it as such. It was pretty great. So, anyway, highly recommended. I guess even if you do just, throw something into the trash and break it, whatever. I know. It's actually so irresponsible, but it's whatever. Yeah, it is kind of nice to do it at home, right? Yeah. The thing that cracked me up is that we this was all really organic because we've never done anything like this before. And we got to the point where when somebody would make their proclamation and throw their dish and it would shatter, we would all cheer. It's just kind of how it played out. Oh, anyway. Yeah, pretty fun. Pretty good release. So I will let you know how she's doing. Just getting final tests and stuff like that done so that she's ready for surgery. And this is going to be okay. It is. Also, this led us to a conversation last week about anger because we so frequently have no place to put anger. Honestly, we're not really taught how to deal with anger. Uh, a lot of times we're just taught not to feel it, right? Don't be mad, don't get angry, don't lose your cool. When other people, if we're angry at them, they don't know how to accept our anger. And so a lot of times we end up with to be in this place where anger is just a taboo thing. It's a shameful thing. It's not okay. But anger is a relevant and healthy emotion. Anger helps keep you safe. It helps you to take action sometimes. You need anger. We all do. That's a part of our toolbox of emotions. So, we did a show about anger and discussing anger and coping mechanisms and how to deal with anger, how to express anger, how to accept other people's anger, all of those things that I think are really important. So, I linked it here, but you can also find it over on True Crime Squad and pick it up there if you're interested. I also did a drumming for everyone to release some anger, and that was really powerful too. So, anyway, if you want to get good and mad or deal with getting good and mad, that would be the way to do it. Go check it out. You can get good and mad by watching the news, but maybe this will help you to cope with that. Oh, Chris, I'm with you. See, we so should have. She said, might be fun to do shots with every break. We would have been dead. Mini shots, mini shots. There you go. Maybe shots of White Claw or something. I love it. I really do. Oh, gosh. Okay. Chris said, in my teens and 20s, I smashed a lot of shit. Sometimes I shot at shit too. Oh, my goodness. Well, I mean, whatever works, right? All right. Well, let's keep going. Of course, lots of meditations over at Planet Meditation. Kelly says, bust out the catnip, Leo new moon. Here we are. We are in Leo season. And of course, the new moon this week, tomorrow. Uh, is it tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow. Yeah. So this should be a week where you can take a bit of a break. People are feeling a bit grumpy, it's true. However, hopefully, again, this is a week where you can take a bit of a rest. So, since it is Leo's birthday, let's take a look at Leo's scope this week. Happy new moon. Rawr. This week is all about you, bitch whiskers. I think bitch whiskers is a phrase that is really phrase that's underused, don't you? The moon is dark, but the spotlight is on you. What will you say and do? What do you want? Examine how you do or don't stand in your power, or ways that you give your power away too easily. Jupiter will begin its retrograde in your ninth house of experience and education. This is a natural placement for Jupiter. You may be revisiting education goals and ideas, or rehashing a travel plan. If you are traveling soon, be flexible and book your flights so that late flights don't screw up your whole trip. It's not like Mercury retrograde, but all retrogrades are best approached with flexibility. You may also wax a bit more philosophical and begin to re examine your personal system beliefs. Whatever it is, it's all for your highest good. So there you go, Leo. Don't get too married to anything because things could change. Probably good for all of us. My tip this week is a worry jar. I love the worry jar. If you have worriers in your house, or if you, oh, excuse me, or if you have a lot of anxiety going on, make a worry jar. Just take a jar with a lid and squares of paper and pens. Keep it in an accessible spot, ready to go. And when your worries get too heavy, write them down and put them in the jar. And then once in a while, burn all of the worries and start over. It's a good way to deal with the worries that never happen. There's a saying that nearly everything you worry about never comes true. That's so true for me. And so I like the worry jar. It just gives you a place to put it so that you can move on. I don't know where all these yawns are coming from. Okay. All right. From Melissa, even miracles take a little time. Ginger with Heart Happenings. She has scopes for Leo season as well. Let's see. We already read Leo, so let's read somebody else. How about Libra? The angels and guides ask you to embrace the courage and confidence of Leo. They say you may feel a bit of a test of faith this week, but they say you are divinely supported and guided at all times. The angels and guides say that if you feel frustrated or challenged, take a deep breath and center, and then allow your passion and creative fire to lead the way. Love it. All righty. Of course, new stuff over at True Crime Squad. As always, this Wanda Palmer story, you guys, is so wild. So, Wanda lived in West Virginia. 2 years ago, she was found in her front yard after having been attacked with a machete and was seriously injured. And in fact, when law enforcement got there, they thought that she was deceased, but she wasn't. So she's laid in a coma for 2 years. She finally woke up, which is a miracle in itself that she woke up at all, a few weeks ago and has been getting her strength back enough that she was able to sit for a police interview. And she told them that her brother did it. So they took her brother into custody with major struggle. And once they had him arraigned, they had to send him straight to the hospital because his health was in jeopardy and he died. It's the damnedest story. So it's all there in the Wanda Palmer episode, all the deets about that. But I'm just amazed. And I really, really hope that Wanda can get back on her feet in some meaningful way and get some quality of life back. But the fact that she lived through this at all and then actually woke up and was able to finger her attacker, amazing. Extremely rare for something like that to happen. All right, Anita brings us Kuan Yin. This is the Mother Mary of the East, of course, as she is sometimes known. Of course, she is also the goddess of compassion. Kuan Yin's such a good one to call on if you need some compassion and to find some compassion for yourself. So read up on Kuan Yin with Anita and get some ideas about how to connect with her yourself. And then a brand new video from Jamie Dawn as well. That is awesome. So there you have it. That is Luminous this week. So hopefully you find some gems in there. Yeah. Lillian said, West Virginia. Any questions? You want to know what's crazy? Well, Sid, she said, they asked her why he would do this. She said it's because he's mean. Uh, we also found a Facebook post that she made 2 years ago. Well, 2 years before she was attacked, so 4 years ago, uh, about him uh, vandalizing her trailer house. She was disabled. She was in an accident like in '89 and has been disabled most of her adult life and has struggled a lot. And yeah, she anyhow had said that asked him on Facebook why he would want to come and vandalize her house and do things like that. So looks like there had been quite the yeah, the history there, but okay, so West Virginia, Lillian, I have to tell you, we actually, Christy and I, we had to laugh because we both ended up picking stories in that episode from West Virginia without realizing it. So in West Virginia, there is a judge in a county there, a really rural county, a judge whose family has quite the feud going with another family in town. And hey, Jane, and they happen to be, uh, have attorneys. So this defense attorney shows up in court. And the judge happens to be this judge who has a hell of a feud going on with her family. And while in court, she is petitioning the court to get a different judge because she knows that this is not going to be good because there's some serious hate between these two families. The judge opens up his robe, pulls out a handgun that is he's wearing on his hip, puts it on the table in front of him or you know, whatever, the stand in front of him and circles it with his finger until the barrel is pointing at that uh defense attorney and just leaves it there all the way through court that day and also refuses to remove himself from the case. What? I mean, what? Can you imagine? Oh, apparently only in West Virginia? I don't know. I don't know. That case, that absolutely kills me that he is getting away with that. And that there's just nothing she could do about it, apparently. But if you've never heard of a judge pull a gun in court before, now you have. I hadn't. I'm sure lots of them have thought about it, but there you go. Yeah, wild. It is amazing. I don't know that he would have died though, Jessica. He really skirmished with the police. They had a really hard time bringing him in, and I don't know if that's what caused his health issue. His obituary said after a long illness. His obituary is pretty interesting. It lists her as one of his siblings and says that he died after a long illness and acts super normal. There was nothing about this that was normal, but okay. I know. Wild. Anyway. All right. Well, there you go. Okay. Just looking in the chat. Thanks, you guys, for all of your love. I appreciate you very much. Oh, Sid, yeah. Sid said, I was amazed at how the sublimated designs really get embedded and literally seem to be a part of the socks, not just added to the surface afterwards. The blankets are super cute and love the color schemes. Thank you. That's what's so cool about sublimation, right? It never washes off. It can't peel off. It can't go away because, yeah, it melts into the fabric. It becomes the fabric, which I agree. I think that's phenomenal. Yeah. Yeah. He died after her long illness, right? Yes. Sid said, I love the John Denver song about West Virginia, but it sounds like outsiders would have a hard time fitting into the community. That seems true. The thing that cracks me up is that our episode today, I talked about a defense attorney in California that is in deep shit with the judge and is being referred to the California State Bar for discipline disciplinary action because of one thing he said to two female attorneys in court. At the end of the day on a Friday, they would be back in court, facing each other the next week. He said on the record that he just wanted to let the opposing counsel know that I'll see you next Tuesday. Well, the judge didn't know what that meant. And he said, "Oh, how kind." Well, these women didn't think that was funny at all. And the next week, asked to see the judge in chambers and explain to him what that means. And now he is livid. He's made this attorney apologize. He canceled his case and has referred him to the California State Bar. It just goes to show that West Virginia and California are two very different places. Oh my gosh. That would kills me. I mean, yeah, not okay, totally inappropriate. Uh, what the hell was he thinking? But anyway, I'm still laughing about it. I guess that's just who I am. Yeah, okay. All right, let's see, Lillian. I need love. I want love. Is anyone going to love me except my girlfriends and old boyfriends? Now let's feel into that, love. It's not a no. I don't see anybody definitive. What I'm hearing is that there are others around you who are also looking for love. And it's really just about connecting with them. It's just that it has to be the right person because not any sloppy old guy is going to do for you. You have to have someone who is interesting and intelligent and clean and, like minded in their values. And it shrinks the field, but that's okay. That's good. You know what you want. Honestly, babe, I am not taking it off the table for you at all, because I feel like there are people around you that also would really like a companion that are in the same boat you are, want a companion, want love, don't want bullshit. So I'm holding space. Oh, Ellie said in Utah, we've got a cookie war. Crumble is suing another cookie company. What? Of course they are. Crumble just wants to be the only cookie company, don't they? They think that they're the only ones that should exist, I think. There was that case here where we live of the ice castle place. So if you don't live where it's Arctic like we do, you don't know this, but in the wintertime, if you run the hose while it's freezing outside, you can make some pretty interesting ice sculptures and things. And these people had developed this whole system of structures and drip lines and things to make ice form a certain way. And not far from me, I should really go sometime and take pictures so you guys can see how cool this is. But they also set it all into lights. And so it's amazing. And then you go walk through it at night, and it's this just crystal wonderland of all of this ice and stuff. And it's really cool. Well, some place in Utah was doing it first. And then this outfit here in Idaho picked it up and was doing their own, which I'm sure there's plenty of others too. But anyway, they sued them for copying them essentially and doing their icicles similarly. And it was really stupid. And it cost this family an enormous amount of money in court to defend themselves. And they eventually did win. The people in Idaho won because really the people in Utah were just, they were just salty that someone else was doing what they're doing. Dumb. I don't understand America in that people want to be free until they don't, you know? They want to be free, but they're not that interested in other people being free, I'm afraid, is what's actually true. But anyway, to me, that's how it sure seems. But here we are. So I'll have to take a look at that, the Crumble lawsuit. I'm sure that's something. George, I wish George was not out of the question. George has some emotional issues that he needs to deal with. You guys are a great match and a great fit. He's just a mess that needs to figure himself out. I wish you would. You guys would be a great fit. JR said, I really like Carl, but I'm not ready for a relationship now. Will I be with him in the future? The hard part, JR, is he's not waiting. I feel like there's a possibility of that, but it's not a strong one because he really wants to be in a relationship. And so he's not going to wait for you forever. And that's okay. That's not pressure for you to have to get into a relationship with him. You know yourself, and you know that if you're waiting for something, you know, or if you're not ready for something, you shouldn't do it. And that's absolutely correct. So it, this may not, it may not pan out. I feel like there's a good likelihood that it won't because he really wants something now. And that's okay. That's okay. It's just telling you it's this whole situation with him has just helped you get more clear on where you are and what you really need and want. So use it for that, see it as that, right? And don't see that as pressure that you have to jump into something that you're not ready for. He's a super, super nice guy. But maybe obviously the timing's not right. Maybe it's just not quite right, you know? Okay, Jessica, is there a message for me from anyone that I haven't heard or understood? Okay, so I feel like there's something that you're having an experience that you're not quite fleshing out, Jessica. Can you help me understand a little bit more about what this question is based from? I'll watch for that. Okay, in the meantime, Laurie had said, having a really sad morning. My daughter Christy is still not really engaging with me much and keeping me very distanced. Doesn't even want me in her house. Her birthday is this Sunday and I don't know what to do. I've been trying to leave her alone like she asked. And to top it off, business has slowed to a crawl and I am scared. Okay, Laurie, let's take a look at all of it. Yeah, she is just pissed at the world right now and it's really focused on you. It's not, I mean, it, this is her anger over her health issues, over some financial issues, just her anger in general. And she's just really, she's focusing it all on you. I feel like she just doesn't, she's just having a hard time processing all the anger that's built up in her that she's feeling. On your part, yes, giving her her distance is still correct. It is. And that really brings in the question of her birthday, right? Do we celebrate her birthday? Do we not? Do you leave a gift on her doorstep or do you just go, you asked for your space, so you're getting it? My gut feeling is that yes, you do gift her for her birthday. Don't go crazy. Uh, and do something subtle and easy that you don't necessarily have to see her to give her. But my gut feeling is if you do nothing, that will create more resentment. I know it's a precarious and a silly place, and she's an adult. And so there's certainly a question there about how hard should you work for this, at this point. But that's the thing that comes up for me the most is that right now, what she really needs, uh, yes, do the birthday, but otherwise keep your distance. As far as business, Laurie, this really might be a time for you to consider a side gig because of the way the economy is reacting right now. I feel like people are just hesitating to spend their money. The hard part is when you are in a place of fear over money, it makes it sometimes harder to attract business and clients. So you may consider seeing if a friend's got a side gig or something that you can help out with to make a little extra money right now until this picks back up. It will. I feel like it will. You're just kind of in a space right now where things are a little stalled. So I'm going to hold space with you that we'll see this get better, but it's not too soon to think about bringing in income somewhere else. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Jessica said, just feel like I've missed something. It feels like life's falling apart at this time, and no matter what I do. Okay. All right. Let's look into that. Yeah. So, what your guides are showing me is a house burning down. They're saying you haven't missed anything, as in, you haven't done anything wrong per se. You're just in a space of things burning down and then rebuilding. And it's hard. It sucks. They want you to know that you're not walking this path by yourself. They said you felt very alone. And like other people, just don't understand how serious things have gotten. And They kind of just go, oh, well, hopefully tomorrow's better. But tomorrow being better isn't going to fix this. It's so much bigger than that. But they do want you to know that they are walking with you and that they don't feel like you are not listening. They just are recognizing that this is just becoming a really, really challenging life experience. Also, going to call in some of your ancestors to come in and step closer to you and provide you more support during this time. I feel like you're wondering when the free fall stops. Like when do things stop falling apart and start getting better? I feel like the end of October and into November is when we really see things start perking up, shifting, repairing. You're not going to go back to something old. I feel like there's going to be something new coming. That as things fall apart, something new starts coming into its place, but it's going to take a little bit of time. Jessica, I'm sorry. This is not a pattern anybody wants to be in, and I'm sure sorry that you're finding yourself there. You don't deserve it. Life experiences, man, sometimes they suck. Okay. Karen said, if time permits, I could use a message. I've tried working on verbalizing myself. Epic fails, neighbor, work, friends. My house appliance is broken beyond repair. Washer, refrigerator, microwave, coffee. I feel so alone. Wow. I feel like that that last reading for Jessica could have been for you. You guys are in a very similar situation. Yeah. Karen, let me do the same for you in a sense. Let's really call in your guidance to come and really stand with you. I'm calling in ancestors, angels, and guides. Yeah. So they're saying that with some of the relationships that it's time to start seeking other people in general. They while these are falling apart, it's time to start seeking new people in other ways. So branching out, considering things like classes, study groups, churches, if that's what you're into, things like that, where you start kind of opening yourself up to a new crowd. The old crowd is just really falling away and not supporting you anymore, and it's just become toxic. So I'm sorry, babe. Jane said, any messages from my folks about seeking legal aid regarding their house and my sisters? The issues, bad biz practices that she's engaging in. Yeah, let's feel into it. So, dad says he feels like a legal challenge would be the only thing she would actually listen to. He said she's not listening to anybody and just too stubborn to change. He says he feels like it might be the only way to settle the estate is to get some legal representation involved because she is just simply not willing to listen. Mom says she really wishes that things had not escalated to this place. She feels like this is not at all what she wanted to see. And she apologizes, Jane. She said that she knows that towards the end of her life, uh, that she was very dependent on you, but also didn't take the steps she needed to give you the authority to make better decisions. And she recognizes that. So it sounds to me like they feel like that's probably going to be your best bet in getting some help to figure this out because no one's listening. She's not listening, not no one. She's not listening and isn't going to change. So ugh, That is such a hard one. And if you take a step like that, the chances of your relationship rebounding, uh, they fall down a lot. Yeah. But this has to be resolved. And so she's kind of putting you in a no win situation, unfortunately. Yeah. Okay. We need to do our bibliomancy. Ellie, really quick, may I please have some insight into my relationship with my boyfriend? Let's take a look. Like you guys are cut from the same cloth. I feel like you both like love hard and then draw back. And it's just from old hurts and old distrust from not from each other really, just from other people. And so you guys are doing this delicate dance between leaning in and trying to like really engage and then getting nervous and kind of jumping back. And it's making it hard to really deepen in this relationship. Here's the thing. I feel like you guys can continue to repair trust and get to where we aren't jumping back like that anymore. But there's definitely you both do it. You both do it and confuse the hell out of each other. So, yeah, there needs to be continued work on communication and trust so that we can get to a place where neither of us are doing that anymore because it does just kind of stalls everything when that happens. Okay, let's read a chapter from Kathleen's book. This will be our bibliomancy for the week and the last thing we do. This is El Moira. I come before you today to offer my protection and help you move into faith. Call on me to release your fears and doubts about who you are and who you have chosen to live on the experiment of the earth plane at this time. Call on me to help you when you feel vulnerable and under attack via depression or anxiety. I will come and install shields within your body so that you won't have to erect your own barriers as protection. What I see happening with you when you feel that you must always protect yourself is that your body tenses and you spend a great deal of your time with your body in that mode. The longer you hold tension in your body, the more likely that over time you will begin to feel aches and pains, as the body can only retain the tension for so long without protesting. Call on me, and I can help you to overcome your inner obstacles. I will gladly place shields in two areas inside of you so that you will be able to ease your need to defend yourself. As the shields will work with a defense mechanism, these shields can be easily removed by your intention. These shields will not interfere with your life or your ability to connect with spirit or other humans. I offer you this help so that you may live a more open position without fear or doubt. Call on me, and I will appear and wrap you in my arms, surrounding you with love and protection. And that is Elmoira. All righty, guys. Well, we've done it. We've talked down to the end of the show. Don't forget, I am a professional psychic advisor over at one2listen.com. You can find me over there every single day. And we're on sale today and tomorrow for the new moon. So come over and get a reading. This is a great time to do it. And again, that's at one2listen.com. That's number one, number two, listen.com. Thanks so much, you guys. Please take good care. This has been the Katie Weaver Show here on 1 2 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.